Leadership and roles in projects. Why roles matter. Leadership is the backbone of any project, influencing everything from decision-making to team morale. However, the style and structure of leadership differ significantly between Waterfall and Agile methodologies. In this video, we are going to examine the differences in roles in the different types of project frameworks, how leadership functions, and what modern organizations can learn from both systems. Waterfall emphasizes centralized control and defined hierarchies, whereas Agile promotes decentralized authority and servant leadership. Understanding these role shifts is essential for transitioning between methodologies or integrating both in a hybrid model. In project management, one of the most common causes of delays, duplication of effort, and conflict is unclear or misunderstood roles and responsibilities. Without clarity, teams hesitate, tasks fall through the cracks, or people step on each other's toes. Ensuring everyone knows exactly what is expected of them, who they collaborate with, and where decision-making authority lies is fundamental to successful delivery. In this video, we'll examine the core roles in each approach. First principle: clear roles and responsibilities. Having clarity on who does what avoids confusion, especially in cross-functional or matrixed environments. A matrix environment is one where resources are shared between different teams. Often this is just shorthand for not having enough resources to go around. Something else you may well have to get used to. Who said it was a perfect world? Why it matters: prevents duplication of work. Avoids "it's not my job" syndrome. Ensures ownership of critical deliverables. Improves team efficiency and focus. How to do it well. Use the RACHI matrix: responsible, accountable, consulted. Informed early in the project to define roles for key activities or decisions. Responsible: person or persons doing the work. Accountable: the single person who owns the outcome, only one per task. Consulted: experts who provide input. Informed stakeholders who need to be kept updated. The RACI isn't a state secret. Make sure you share and validate the RACI with the team and stakeholders. Keep it visible and revisit it during major changes, scope shifts, team changes, etc. Next, who makes decisions? A project cannot afford decision paralysis. Knowing who has authority to make which decisions is essential to maintain momentum. Why it matters: speeds up execution by reducing bottlenecks. Prevents misaligned decisions or decision by committee. Encourages accountability and ownership. How to do it well. Identify decision makers for each domain. For example, product, budget, schedule. Clarify escalation paths. If a decision can't be made, where does it go? Use decision logs to record key decisions, including rationale, date, and stakeholders involved. Void ambiguity. Final decision maker must be clearly stated, especially in meetings. Managing handoffs and dependencies. Projects often involve multiple teams or specialists. Understanding who hands work to whom and what needs to be done before another task can start is critical. Why it matters. Reduces delays caused by waiting for others. Ensures critical path tasks are prioritized correctly. Prevents misunderstandings or rework due to timing issues. How to do it well. Map out workflow dependencies. Use a Gantt chart, Kanban board, or dependency map. Define handoff criteria. What does done mean before it moves to the next person or team? Communicate dependencies clearly and keep them visible in planning sessions and tools. Build in buffer time for known high-risk handoffs. Now, we can take a more in-depth look at the individual roles within the methodologies. Firstly, leadership and roles in waterfall projects. Waterfall project management is top-down and linear. Each role has clearly defined responsibilities, and leadership typically resides with the project manager, who holds primary accountability for planning and execution. Key roles in Waterfall. Firstly, the project manager. The project manager is a central authority figure, responsible for planning, scheduling, budgeting, and reporting. Coordinates all activities and enforces process discipline. It often communicates directly with clients and executives. Next, functional managers. These lead departments providing project resources, for example, engineering or design. They maintain resource control and often influence technical decisions. Team members. Team members execute assigned tasks based on project plans. Generally, they follow the project manager's direction. And lastly, stakeholders. Involved primarily during initiation and phase-gate reviews, their feedback often triggers formal change requests. Now, let's take a more detailed look at leadership characteristics in Waterfall and Agile. Waterfall generally implies a command-and-control mindset where success is measured by adherence to scope, schedule, and cost. There is a heavy reliance on documentation and formal communication. Leadership and roles in Agile projects. Agile frameworks such as Scrum, SAFe, and Kanban distribute leadership across roles, fostering collaboration, empowerment, and flexibility. Leadership is less about authority and more about facilitation and enablement. Key roles in Agile. First, the product owner represents the voice of the customer. Prioritizes backlog items based on business value. Makes scope and feature trade-off decisions. Next, the Scrum Master or Agile Coach serves as a facilitator and process guardian. Removes obstacles, ensures Agile practices are followed, promotes team health and self-organization. The Development Team, cross-functional and self-organizing. Shares ownership of delivery commitments. Encouraged to collaborate on solutions and decision-making. And finally, the Stakeholders. Regularly engaged throughout the development process, they provide feedback in sprint reviews and planning sessions. Next, leadership characteristics in Agile. In Agile, the emphasis on servant leadership and the focus is on outcomes and customer satisfaction. Experimentation, adaptability, and learning is encouraged. Next, hybrid leadership models. Organizations blending Agile and Waterfall often maintain dual leadership structures. Traditional project managers oversee project-level elements such as budgets, contracts, and risk, etc. Agile leaders, Scrum Masters, and product owners manage delivery within iterative teams. Program managers or delivery leads coordinate between Waterfall and Agile teams. Next, best practices for modern project leadership. Clarify role boundaries. Ensure everyone understands their responsibilities and decision rights. Promote emotional intelligence. Encourage leaders to develop empathy, listening skills, and humility. Balance, structure, and flexibility. Use planning and oversight where needed, but allow space for innovation and adaptation. Invest in leadership training. Offer Agile leadership workshops, coaching, and certifications. Encourage leadership at all levels. Empower team members to take initiative, speak up, and lead from where they stand. Remember, leadership is a mindset, not a job title. In conclusion, in a well-run project, no one should ever have to ask, "Am I supposed to be doing this?" Or "Who decides that?" When people understand their roles, where they fit into the larger picture, and how their work connects with others, they become more confident, efficient, and collaborative. Project success hinges not just on having good people, but on ensuring everyone is aligned, empowered, and accountable. Leadership in project management is evolving. While Waterfall provides clarity and authority, Agile fosters empowerment and responsiveness. Effective leaders today must know how to navigate both environments, adjusting their approach based on context, team maturity, and project complexity. By blending the best of both leadership styles, organizations can build resilient, high-performing teams ready to meet modern challenges. So now we come to the end of Part 1 of our Guide to Project Management. The videos you have been watching are based on our Essential Guide to Project Management, The New Project Manager's Handbook by Patrick-Gill, and available now on Amazon Books. In Part 2 of the Essential Guide to Project Management, we will be taking deep dives into each phase of the project lifecycle. discussing how we can best achieve the aims and objectives of your project. We look forward to seeing you very soon.